There we go. Okay. So yes, I'm happy to be here. I was so glad I didn't get delayed. My flight didn't get, so I'm like, okay, mental note, don't schedule a flight on Wednesday. At least for a few more weeks. So hello everybody. I'll give everybody a minute to kind of log on here. And then tonight we are going to talk about our loss history graph. Did everybody get a chance to work on theirs? Yeah? See some good head nods? Okay. Good. Yeah. Latrey, did you get to work on your loss? Okay, cool. Everybody, good. Yay. So we are going to spend some time. I'm going to go over a few ground rules in terms of like responding to loss history graphs. They can kind of be a lot in terms of what kind of losses people have had, because we're talking about sort of a lifetime full of different types of losses. And it's important for you guys, if we were meeting in person, what we would be doing is breaking up into groups, like of maybe just 3 or 4 people. And for the purpose of everybody having their own space and time to go over what's in their loss history graph. We don't want to rush this process because it's just as important for you guys to be able to pretty much present to everybody else here what you discovered and what came up for you and what kind of losses you've had. That's just as important as actually just sitting down and doing the graph itself. Because there's something therapeutic that happens and healing that happens when you bring us into your life and your experiences. So tonight we're pretty much going to focus on everybody's experiences in terms of their loss. And there's just a couple of guidelines that I just want to go over. So I want you to kind of keep thinking about like, did anybody have any trouble with any of the assignment? And what kind of what kind of memories came up for you? Were they happy memories or were they painful memories? Sometimes we can remember happy things as well as painful things, which is sometimes a surprise. And then we're going to talk a little bit about your process. It's natural and it's normal to have conflicting emotions, meaning that you were happy that dad took you out for ice cream by yourself without your siblings, but then he said something that was super hurtful, which reinforced your disappointment about the kind of relationship you have with your dad. Okay, I'm just using that as an example. So you can kind of see like there are conflicting emotions there, right? And so that's natural and that's normal when you're thinking about kind of loss overall. So and the only real ground rule that we have is that that you may want to cry, you may want to laugh, you may want to be empathetic and give an encouraging word or encourage somebody from your perspective or your own experience. And I'm going to just ask that you would just refrain from that and just listen attentively, like kind of like what we talked about in the first couple of weeks. With good eye contact. It's a little more difficult to do over Zoom, but yet it's still doable. And so with that, I want to see if we can kind of just dive in and see what you guys have to share. And then we'll go into sort of what we're going to do with the loss history graph kind of more toward the end of our class. Okay. So who wants to start? And you can share what's on your graph and maybe what what you noticed.
I just want to clarify first, this is not going to be shared on the internet. Is that right?
I am going to turn the recording off when you guys share. Actually, why don't you tell me if you want me to turn it off or not? Is that good? And I'm happy to do either one. Okay. So,
Great.
see, do you want to start? And I'm happy to turn it off.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay, yes, I'll be glad to. And yes,
Okay,
turn it.
So, let's see here. Out of respect for the rest of you guys, because we still have 1, 2, 3, 4. We still have 5 of you guys that have not weighed in, but it's 8:26, and so we're going to pick up where we left off next week with you guys. So you get another week to work on your loss history graph, and then we're going to pick up with you guys on our next week, if that's okay. And I just want to encourage you guys, when you get the homework this week, that I just wanted to go over and clarify. What we're going to do is look at our loss history graph again, but you're going to look at it now from a different angle. Okay. And what I want you to do is look at each event that you put on your graph. And I want you to think about, and the book will explain this more, but what you're going to do is label each of the events with one of these 4 labels. Okay. And what I want you to do is see, did I have any STIRB behaviors after this event happened to me? Like, did I notice myself wanting to escape more? Did I notice myself wanting to eat more? Did I notice myself wanting to be alone more? Whatever your stress, energy, or relieving behavior is, look at what happened to you right around that time and see if anything kind of heightened. Okay. So we're going to look for either STIRBs or accidents. Did any kind of an accident happen to you? Did you break an arm? Did you get into a car accident? Like, what I want you to do is start to see like what happened around those events that maybe were impactful to you as a result of that event. Okay. Did you come down with a really bad illness after you had this loss? Okay. So after that event happened, after the loss happened, was there an illness? Or was there some kind of misinformation? Meaning, did you start to understand things a little maybe differently, but was it a little confusing for you? So what I want you to do is just look at the event, and then look to see if right around the same time of the event, any of these 4 things were a part of what was going on for you. Okay. I want you to kind of I want you to observe yourself while that event was happening to see if anything else was also connected to it. Okay. I know it sounds a little not very definitive, but when you read the chapter, go ahead and start to work on that. Okay. So, and then when we come back next week, we're going to pick up where we left off with those of you who didn't get a chance to talk about your loss history graph. Okay. And I know there's 5 of you as of this week, and there could be more next week. So we're going to hang in there with each other. This is really, really good stuff and really important, and we don't want to rush it. Okay. And we don't need to, because I can be flexible on my end with what we do next. We'll get it all done. All right. Any questions? No? Okay. Thank you for listening and for being here, you guys. And I will send the next homework out between today and tomorrow. Okay. So keep an eye out for it. All right, guys. Blessings to you. Good to see you. Thank you.
Good night, Catherine.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good
Thank,
night.
thank you to everyone. It helps so much
Good.
to hear people share.
Good. Yeah, it's very healing. All right. Good job. Good job, Nancy. We'll see you later.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.